Hey, folks, it's Dave back here tonight, late night after I get out of work, and just coming on tonight. Little emotional video tonight. It seems like all summer long and all spring long, I've had these these videos here. Boy, it's just been a heck of a year. It really has. It's just one thing after another. And I know we all go through that. And I'm not coming on here just to bitch and moan, as they say. But I do like to share some things, with you guys here. We've just been through a lot together over the last, 5 or 6 years or whatever it's been here on YouTube. And yeah, so as you know, not the dog with 3 legs. We have a dog that lost a leg. It's got 3 legs. My other dog, who's like 25 pounds or something like that, and he's been just panting and panting and panting and panting. And so I said something's wrong. So last night was about midnight, and I looked at the wife and I was just like, we really need to have him looked at now. And she's just like, yeah, well, we're going to call in the morning. And says, we need to look at him now. And so we packed up and we drove into Boston, just outside of Boston, and brought him in and told him what was wrong. And immediately the, the vet was touching him up and he goes, cancer. Just like that. Well, at least we have our answer. So I guess he's all swollen inside, spleen and a few other things. So that's why he's panting, because he's not in a good way right now. How much pain he's in, we don't know. So they did all these tests, and they said, yeah, it's pretty conclusive that it's a lymphoma. And they said the good news is, depending on what kind of lymphoma it is, he can get treated. He can get another 2 or 3 years. That was the good news. That was the good news. So we're waiting for a call back from the specialist who got all the tests, the $1,000 worth of tests, and they're gonna give us an idea what we're looking at and give us every scenario possible, and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do. I just can't stand to look at him suffer, and when he's sitting there panting, I know he's not in a good way, and I know I wouldn't want to be sitting there panting, trying to catch my breath because I'm in so much pain. But right now he's just kind of chilling out. He was out in the yard chasing a rabbit, so he's still got his good moments, I guess. But it just got me in a real emotional state that I don't get in too often, because he's kind of my dog. He sleeps with me and cuddles up with me, and I take him for the walks, and he's right here under my desk. When I'm working all day, he's right there with me. And so this one's kind of hitting me hard. I just got back to reflecting on life things. I don't know if I'll keep this video up. I'm kind of just talking right now, and I'm not a big fan of people going on like TikTok and stuff like that and crying about their life and the whole bit. But sometimes it doesn't hurt to talk things through, and that way that you guys know kind of where I am, because it's like we're dragging behind on the podcast. And Ron's like, when do you want to record? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not having any good days right now. And I'm not playing much, and I don't know what I want to talk about right now. But anyway, I just got to some reflecting, about things. And I'm looking back. Like, I was driving home tonight from the rink, and it's on the highway, and I'm pretty much got the highway to myself at, 11:45. And it just kind of reminded me of I don't know why Christmas come up in my head. And there was like it was a quiet moment on the highway, and I had, I had Yacht Rock radio on, and Ron always laughs. It's the 10 best songs of the '70s over and over and over, and it is. And they were playing a song that I just remember hearing as a kid, and it's just one of those songs that triggered a memory about me, you know, kind of driving home from my grandparents' house on Christmas. It's cold, it's dark, and you get all your stuff you got. It's like, because we would open stuff at the house, and then we'd go to my grandparents' house. We would bring home stuff, and it's just, you're tired. It's the end of the day, but you've been so excited and you're exhausted, and you're just like, man, I can't wait in the morning to go over all this stuff and figure out what I'm going to play with first. And I just had that moment trigger on my way home tonight. And I don't know if you ever had that, just a fleeting moment, you know, trigger something, a memory of the past. And this got me, just kind of thinking and reflecting on things, and you know how things turned out in life, and would I go back and do it all over again? I don't know. I'm just kind of reflecting right now. Again, I don't even know if I'll keep this video up because it's kind of a, a a weird video for me. Um, you know, we had a situation where we had a husky for 13 years, and we had to put her down for the same thing. She had cancer all over her, and she was panting everywhere. So here we go again, with this other dog. And we kept the husky around a little too long. She was really in bad shape, but well, I was the wife's dog, and she didn't want to get rid of her. And then, I was walking around here the other day. I might have been walking, my dog, and it's like, did we really have a husky for 13 years, and she's been gone 6 years now? It's like, where did that time go? Where did the time go? Where did those 19 years go? 13 years and then six with her gone. Holy cow, time just flies. And then you wake up one day and you're an old man, with health problems. It's just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I just started like reflecting on the drive home tonight. And I was actually like doing the speed limit too, which I always do a little bit more than the speed limit. I was just taking my time coming home tonight, reflecting, and I was like, oh, let me come on tonight and get some emotional mental therapy with you guys, as we have a few people here in the chat room. Barbara, thanks for coming by. Thank you so much for the hugs. Um, yeah, yeah, I can't stand seeing animals suffer. Sorry to hear. Pets are a big part of the family, says Christopher. Yep, yep, and just so we're still waiting for the phone call to figure out how bad it is and what we're gonna do. And I know it's the dog; it's not a person, and I get it. But as people who don't have kids, dogs are a big part of our life. They're our kids, so to speak, and they're part of every day and the unconditional love and the whole bit. And he's a pain in the neck barking while I record here, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" But it's just he greeted me tonight. I walk in the door every time I walk in the door. 11:15, he comes in and greets me when I come home, no matter what it is. He waddles his butt up the stairs and comes meet me at the front door, and that's the stuff there. Then I'll get to bed late, and he'll jump in, and he'll sleep right next to me, and it's stuff like that. Then during the day, he'll be looking at me. He's like, "When we going for a walk?" And I got a little routine that I go to. I get him all excited about taking a walk, and now it's hard to take him for a walk because he's so sore. He's limping, and he's limping because all his lymph nodes are enlarged, and they're hurting him. And he loves to walk, but he can't. And that's the other thing that's killing me too. It's like one day I won't be able to skate, and I'm gonna want to skate, and I can't. That's gonna be killing me. Yelling to the void is okay if you don't keep it online. Thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes we just have these moments here. It just in life, just crappy crap. Like I was all excited because the wife was healing up. She's doing pretty good, knock on wood. So she's doing okay. So that's going to allow me to travel to Canton and see a bunch of you guys and meet people I've never met in person. And I can't wait for that and try out some new games. And I'm going to show off some games that I have here. In fact, last night today I was printing out some season ticket football so I can show that off. It's not even my game, but I enjoy it, and I'm going to bring it and show some people and show how the beta tests work, or the beta game works. And I was all excited to go. And then last night at 1 or 1:30, we're up there, at the emergency place, and they're like, "Yep, here's the deal." Now, at least we got our answers now. We're not wondering anymore. This is something we probably should have done 2 weeks ago. But I just got this reflecting back on things, the show, how we started the show, me and Ron, and just if the show has been a good thing or a bad thing, the YouTube channel here. I mean, I try to do some videos that help people play games and learn games and show off new games. It's like, has that been a good thing or not? You just start reflecting on everything. And no, well, yeah, it's terrible to watch dogs suffer. And you got to make the decision. Oh, jeepers. You put him down on Saturday? Yes, crying for a couple. Yeah, I've been really having a hard time with this. Part of me almost wishes, that it was so bad last night that we didn't have a decision to make. There was, because now it's like I'm bummed about last night, and I'm going to be bummed every single day from now until when he when we have to make that decision. So it's almost like I wish I could have got it over right away, but that's not fair to him. It's not fair to us. It's not fair to anybody. None of this is fair. You look back, you know, and I'm just reflecting right now, and you think back, I didn't have a bad life. I really didn't have a bad life. And then you look back, like, I don't know if I can agree with that statement anymore, just because of everything we've been through over here the last couple of years, just in my house. And I know there's worse places in the world to live, and there's people living in mud huts, and I get it. I get that it can be obviously way worse. But even just looking back at childhood and how that all worked out for me or didn't work out. It's like, we had our moments. I had my moments. I look back at some of the street hockey I used to play. I love that. The little league baseball. I love it. I had my moments that were fun. But it just kind of stinks because they were moments. It wasn't like, man, I had an awesome childhood. I had an awesome teenage. I had awesome 20s. They were just moments. They were moments. And that's kind of why I'm going to Canton, because I need to make some moments. All I've been doing is just working. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm loving what I do here on YouTube and the podcast, so that's not really work related. But it's still, it's and we have a great time with that. But it's like, I get people that travel. I'm not a big traveler, but you see people that go do different things. Like, I need to go and make some of those moments again, and I'm gonna try to make Canton one of those moments for me. I really am. The wife, she took a couple of trips this year before she had a surgery. So it's okay. You and your sister go and have some fun. And it says, when you get healed up, maybe I'll do something. And this is my something right now. I'm going to shut down work and not worry about work. And I'm going to go to Canton. I'm going to hang out with some of you guys. I'm hoping to broadcast them out there. How about, Studio C, Canton, right? Studio H, the Hall of Fame. Studio H. It's going to have to be Studio H, the Hall of Fame out there. If I can broadcast from there. How cool would that be? Broadcasting from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That'd be kind of fun. So I'm trying to make some moments out there so I can reflect on that someday and say, wow, that was a great time. I'm glad I went. So, but yeah, it's just, and then when something like this happens, it's all you can think about. And it's like, I can't play. There's nothing you can do to take it off your mind. You know what I've been doing for the last, well, not quite 24 hours since we found out. I've been watching YouTube. I've been watching people clean drains. That's what I've been doing. There's all these channels about people that clear drains. Like, you got a parking lot that's flooded, and they find the drain, and they go in and they flush it out, and then you see it all drain. That's what I've been watching. I've been watching people clear drains out because it's just relaxing. I've been watching people power wash like driveways and stuff. It's just soothing, and it's nothing controversial, and it's like the before and after is so cool. It's like, it just makes you happy, And so that's what I've been doing to kind of take my mind off of things, because I haven't really had the mental capacity to play anything right now. Although it does stink, because I'll tell you what I printed out. I try to talk some games here on the channel. So I printed out a whole bunch of teams here for season ticket, because he's got a handful of seasons. So I printed out the 78 Rams, and this is I'm going to take these to Canton. The 78 Vikings, 78 Steelers, 78 Cowboys, and the 78 Patriots and Oilers. So I got half a dozen teams from 78 that I'm going to take to Canton with me. That should be kind of fun to play as we play the beta of season ticket football. The 2006 Patriots and Colts, so we can have a little playoff rematch between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. I think actually in 2006, the Colts won that one. 1994 was another season that he has. And this is Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots. So I printed out the Patriots and the Browns, because we can play that playoff game. I think the Browns won that one. The 94 Cowboys and the 94 San Francisco 49ers and the 94 Dolphins. So we have a whole bunch of teams from 94 I'm going to bring and play. And then I did print out 72. I'm not a big fan of the 72 season, but I did print out Miami and Washington so I could play the final game there, the title game. I don't know if I can use the S word or not, but the title game. between that there. So I have a whole bunch of teams, and I printed out the new, obviously the new charts and the new instructions here for season ticket. I did like how he adjusted the field goal, so he's got a whole new way of doing field goals. So I got to figure out that. So everything has been reworked a little bit. He keeps chipping away at this game, and I think it keeps getting better. I think it does. So I've been enjoying this, and I printed out all the new instructions and the whole bit. So looking forward to getting this on the tabletop here again, and looking to, I'm going to probably take this folder with me to Canton. But I printed out a bunch of seasons here that he had, a bunch of teams rather from seasons. I didn't print them all out just in case there's any changes that he makes to the game and the teams. I don't want to print out every team and be like, oh man, I got to throw all these away now. So, and yeah, my buddy Ray coming to you live from the O.J. Simpson bust here at there's more than one, alleged criminal in the Hall of Fame. Let's just say that there's more than one. Football, all these big guys here, yeah. There's some bad guys, and there is in every Hall of Fame, baseball and hockey and every basketball. There is, Ty Cobb was not a nice guy, from what I understand, So, and I don't know how you feel about Pete Rose getting in the Hall of Fame. I think you got to put him in the Hall of Fame. I think you do. And I know he did some bad things, okay, but just on his baseball alone, if you're going to start looking at moral superiority about putting people in the Hall of Fame, then you're going to take half of them out, and everyone. Let's just say that. So you're going to go back now and start, tearing down statues, because guys did bad things, so. And yeah, and like around the layout says Pete 100% belongs in the Hall of Fame. And I know it's a very emotional thing because he's supposed to bet on his own team and the whole bit, but and that's a big no. In fact, who was the guy? Was it the hockey guy? There was a guy from the NHL that got suspended for a year or life or something like that for gambling, and yet they're all out there wearing their stickers and labels on the shirt for all the gambling things now, all the FanDuel and all the sports, whatever those gambling, they're all wearing gambling. It's all sponsored now. You go to the NHL website, it's all gambling on there, but this guy got suspended for gambling. It's kind of like saying you get suspended for drinking when, Bud and Coors and Miller sponsor all your things there, and it's all over your jerseys. It's like kind of weird. But I think Pete should get in. Pete was just a great ball player. He was Charlie Hustle the whole bit. His just hitting and his fielding. I think he should have get in. Yeah. It's a stinking museum. He can't influence the game from there. Yep. I mean, if you want to put him in and then make a note and just say something like, but he was, maybe what you do in something like that, you have a 5 or 10 year ban that he can't get in. Okay, you did this, so you're not going to get in for 5 or 10 years. Maybe we'll put you in later, but you can't get in right away. I don't know, some kind of like small punishment, but just to, again, if you're going to start going back and you're going to start, keeping people out of the Hall of Fame because they did something wrong, you might have to go back and start looking at a few that are already in there. Just saying. But I can't wait to go to the Hall of Fame. I was watching some more videos on it. Some of the things you can do there and all the different, the whole hall of busts that they got. It's going to be kind of fun to see, and just the old uniforms and the old footballs. I've been watching some videos on it. I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but I just want to get an idea what I'm looking at. It should be fun. But yeah, just last night, I was kind of hoping it was like, oh yeah, he's just got an infection. Let's give him an antibiotic. He'll be fine. And it's not fine. It's not fine. And I just don't want to keep seeing him, the poor guy, suffer, and then it just gets you reflecting on your own life and, all the things you've been through, and just that ride home today. It's something about driving home at night when you get the highway to yourself that your mind starts spinning and you start reflecting on things. Usually I do one of two things. I either reflect back on things in my life, or I'm thinking about my future. Like I'm planning out, like I say, my trip to Canton. I'll be thinking about what I want to bring and the whole bit. or thinking about the next show that we're going to do. So I'm either going into the past or I'm going into the future. That's kind of just how my mind works, especially late at night on the highway. Life is a highway, Sometimes you drive it all night long. You do. But I am really looking forward to that trip and hang out. And I keep hearing that more people are going to be going, so I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see what else is going on over here. Yeah, Jacket and I got to try to figure out when we're going to do the next show. We got some guests lined up, but I told him, I said, I don't want to do any guests until I get back from the Canton trip. I really want to kind of, because I don't think I'll be able to record that week. So we'll get one more done before I go to Canton, and then Canton we'll have some people on out there, and we'll probably do a show. Maybe we'll even record the show live from Canton, and we'll have some people there to come on the show and talk to us. That might be kind of a fun time too. I'm looking forward to that. Trying to see if I can bring my big laptop. I got this monstrous laptop that I haven't used in a long time. I just updated all the Windows settings. I'm trying to get it, the Wi-Fi working so I can set that up. But it's probably 6 or 7 years old. This laptop. It's my new one, but it's still pretty old. And it was very slow compared to my new computer here. Anytime you get a new computer, everything else turns slow. I don't know if you noticed that, but it does. So that's that. But yeah, so I was just kind of a little emotional video here tonight, just reflecting back on some things and just remembering when we got this little guy. He was like this big. He was the size of this can when we got him, and he was this little squeaking thing, and now here he is, 13 years later, and now we all know that day comes when you have cats and dogs. We all know it comes, and we don't really think about it until it happens, But anyway, so yeah, so I'm just reflecting back on a bunch of things tonight. I don't know if you guys ever do that. You ever just kind of look out the window on a rainy day or something like that, and just kind of reflect back on things that have happened, things you've been through in life, the good and the bad, and sometimes it's just too much bad. As you get older, I don't know if it gets worse or if it gets better. I don't know. But anyway, hey, I'm Dave. I just wanted to come on tonight and yeah, just kind of talk. I don't know if I'll keep this video up very long, but if you saw it live or if you catch it on the replay, yeah, you might be one of the few people that did see this one. So we'll talk to you all later. Hopefully I'll have some more happy things to talk about, get some gameplay going in. But again, it's just it's only been less than 24 hours since we got the news about the dog having cancer, and then we're kind of bummed out about that. So that is that. But I'm going to try to turn this thing around this week and try to have some happier times. Maybe we'll get some good news from the doctor. Who knows? But we'll talk to you all later. Thanks for tuning in.